Show away the Irish. Show away the Irish. Show. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State. It's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? It's a poison! I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship! That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing! Doing a damn thing! The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. I'm telling you guys, Notre Dame football is going to kill all of us. No, I'm dead serious. Notre Dame football is going to cause the early demise of every single Notre Dame fan that watches this damn channel. Absolutely unbelievable. There's a lot to break down here. I would love to know where you guys fall on this one. There's a ton not to like, and you ended up leaving there with what you needed. But there is a lot not to like and a lot of problems. But this team, this program has been trying to make me be deceased my whole life, and it's just never going to end. Here I am 2 weeks in a row. I'm literally sweating it out. Not a good performance. Not a good performance. There are things to not like all over. All right, Sally, you got it. Sally's right. You got it. I came ready. You know, you should have known I came ready. I don't mess around. I came ready. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. You guys know the rule. You know the rule. The pimp chain only goes on after a win. I'm telling you guys. Nightmare. Just an absolute nightmare all night. Just everything you worried about. Every single thing we talked about. I wrote about. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that. It all came true. It all came true. It all happened. Every single worry about this game and the positioning of it and the emotions of it and where we were entering it from versus where they were entering. All of it happened. And Notre Dame ended up winning the game and saved whatever else this season's going to be. This moment saved it. So whatever else is going to happen, you had to have this one, and you got it. But this is you not a good there are problems everywhere. I have issues on issues on issues. However, you did the absolute thing you had to do. And so this is going to be a situation where you decide that the angle you want to take. Like brutal game, everybody's running on empty, take the win, move on, go back home and get ready for next. Or if you're saying, Notre Dame has real problems, then that's a different issue. And there are some deficiencies here that got to be talked about. But Notre Dame did the bare minimum of what they had to do. That is it. Like whatever we're going to be mad about, whatever I'm going to write about, my post-game video I'm going to record, I'm going to be mad about all sorts of stuff. They did what they absolutely had to do, won that game, saved the season. Like it was just a rough night and you fought it out, you clawed it out, you scratched it out. It was ugly as hell, but Notre Dame did what they had to do. Notre Dame did what they had to do. Just unbelievable. My blood pressure's through the roof. I'm sweating. Notre Dame football is too much, bro. It's too much. And I knew if we lost, people would be saying fire Freeman. I don't know if I was expecting to see it after a win. And so that's a bigger picture discussion that we're going to have. Unbelievable, man. Notre Dame is just they're out to kill you. I'm going to go over some super chats. We'll see what Pat thinks. We'll get right to your calls. We got a bunch of them. Pat, what do you make of this?
Notre Dame is a very undisciplined football team. Very undisciplined. And
they are.
Considering what they did with Ohio State last week, either Duke is a lot better than everyone is thinking they are, or Notre Dame is a lot worse than everyone is thinking they are. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, let me ask this. How much of this could be attributed to they look so bad because of everything last week? They're tired physically, they're drained emotionally, and they're dragging ass and they weren't sharp. Is that does that help you rationalize any of the garbage you saw or no?
I don't because they came out, they looked good at the start. I mean, they dominated the first half. They just couldn't score touchdowns.
Yeah.
And they couldn't make field goals. At this point, Spencer Schrader is a liability. He's not, I don't care how big a leg he is. Your tweet was perfect. You could hit it 300 yards, but it's going to go left or right. It's not going to go straight.
Doesn't matter. And I can't trust you. That's the big thing. V1 rotate with a $10 holler. I have no words. At least Duke knows how it feels. Side note, I said we get killed if we have awful wide receiver play. Hartman with the winning drive is why he's here. It was gutsy for him. I'll tell you one thing, Pat. No way in hell that guy was going to end up short on that fourth down. After last week, there is no way. He was going to get beheaded, but he was going to get it.
Well, he did that. He did that early in the game, too. And I was just like, why are you putting your shoulder down?
Man.
We need you to throw passes. But, yeah, that was I mean, he stepped up when he needed to. But, we have to take a serious look at the offensive line. The offensive line is just porous. It's playing worse and worse every week. And estimate, somebody's got to tell this guy, put your foot in the ground and go forward. Stop dancing. You're 240 pounds or whatever. You got to run the football. You're not a speed back. You're not a dancer.
$50 holler from Josh. Thank you very much. We needed this, John. I love you, brother. Go Irish. Hey, I'm the happiest guy in the world when I can complain about what Notre Dame does after a win. Okay. I'm the happiest guy in the world, but there are issues. This was rough. $20 holler from Eric, my lawyer stuck in Michigan. Same old ND, one tight end and 0 receivers. Tobias sucks. Bench that bum. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I understand that the wide receivers, they were banged up, but that's like further proving the issue of how behind they are in that room overall. And you don't have no depth. Like it was, everything was lined up against us. Donnie with the $50 holler. What up, Donnie? Thank you. $2 holler. Reese versus Parker. Hitler, Stalin. Tie for winning. Jeez. That's dark. Oh, man. $5 holler. Let's see what we got. So, Pat, I mean, what up, Big Jim? I'm just glad he has pants on. What's up, baby? What's up, man? I'm glad to see you, Jim. Love you, man. I love you. Pat, listen, man.
You just
you did what you needed to do. You did what you needed to do, but there are problems everywhere. That's my big takeaway.
Yeah, what do we say?
And Pat, here's the other thing. I'm not blaming this. There has not been one Notre Dame game where I thought the officiating was good all year, Pat. It has been, I think every game, these officials are bad, and it's just getting worse. And then it is really bad. Like, they're bad. Notre Dame's got to have a rider in that contract. We're not letting you do your refs automatically. Find independent crew on their bye. There's got to be another way. I'm over it. I'm done with it. All year, every game, it's been bad. Every one.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It has been bad, but if you watch, I did get to watch some other college games today, and just officiating is just bad across the board.
Yeah,
and I do think that the idea of Notre Dame saying no, you don't get to bring your officials to Notre Dame Stadium anymore. What are you going to go get? You're going to go get a Big 10 official, Big 12 official, Pac?
I don't know.
Pac
Figure it
official?
out. Somebody's on a bye somewhere. There's somebody somewhere.
But I don't know, Pat. My point is, it's like, do you think you're going to get a fairer treatment from another conference? You're just saying you're not bringing ACC officials, so we're going to get Big 10 officials, or you're not bringing Big 10 officials, so we're going to get ACC officials. I would
like our odds a lot more if it wasn't that team in that conference. That's all I'm saying.
I would like to see us not have 7 false start penalties. How about that? I can't blame the officials for that. I would like to see our wide receiver not push off on a defensive back. You can't blame
Yeah.
the officials for that.
Yeah. It's so, I don't know, man. It is like, this is one of those games where we went in it saying we knew we were up against it. You knew all the dynamics. You knew that our guys are going to be dragging ass. Everybody's dragging ass. This fan base, everybody like struggling. And we went in it saying you just need to get this win to steady some of the seas.
Right.
Ultimately, you did that. But the way it looked, there's a lot of
Right.
questions now,
So-
man. There's a lot of questions.
Like Notre Dame fandom, you didn't steady this season. Actually, you just raised a lot more concerns with the performance today. Nationally, in the national perspective, Notre Dame would be a top 10 team next week.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah, if you just look at that, Notre Dame win, everybody knows tough road game. Nationally, Notre Dame won. They were undefeated. You're going to move up to what, 9? Because the 10 lost. Somebody lost, I don't know, in the top. Utah, right? So you can move
Utah
up.
Lost.
Yeah.
Utah lost. So
Yeah.
Notre Dame wins. They're going to be back in the top 10.
But I'm just saying, there are problems, and there are some things that need to be really looked at here. And it's rough. What do you think, Pat? You ready to do a couple super chats and then some calls?
Yeah, let me hit one thing. I also think this is a tired football team. They've played a lot of football games.
They don't have a bye till after game 8. How does that end up being the case? They play 8 weeks in a row, bro.
Because they flex Navy to week 0 so they can go to Ireland, and then they put in another team right after it. So that's how it happened. So yeah, I think you're seeing a very tired football team, and then they've had a lot of just now 2 extremely emotionally draining football games.
Yeah, and you got another night one this week, and so you're gonna next week. It doesn't get any easier. So
right, you got another night game, and then
USC
ABC prime. It's gonna be an ABC primetime game on Saturday night, and then the week after you got USC in town. It doesn't get any easier for this team.
Yeah, I'm hoping now, Pat, that Ohio State, the rush of all that transitioning into this bizarre week where you had all these drama behind the scenes and the coach there, all these ancillary extra BS issues. I'm hoping, okay, you got through over this hump, which was a big dividing line of this season, a big deal. Maybe now they could get a little healthier and this week take an exhale and regroup and come out better next week. Like, I'm open to that on the plus side. That this was going to be a cluster no matter what because of all the dynamics we've been talking about and worrying about. And it was a cluster, but you got out of it. I'm on the plus side. I'm thinking everybody can exhale now, take a deep breath this week, get back into our normal mindset and physical routine, and then come out way more put together against Louisville. But there are some issues, and the personnel stuff didn't help with the guys out. But there were really issues all over, dude. That offense looked, it was old Notre Dame offense, man. We're gonna throw it to the tight end. Like, I don't know.
It's like, what happened? Where did the wide receivers go? Where did the running game go? How come the offensive line can no longer pass block? How come we cannot tackle. We cannot tackle. Benjamin Morrison is the best cover corner in the country, I believe, after what he showed. But he can't tackle.
Yeah.
He can swat balls all day long. He cannot tackle anybody.
Yeah, it was frustrating. And you saw a lot of symptoms that you would see from a team who went through what happened last week. It was nobody, I don't think, should be that surprised by this, because it looks like it just looks like what you envisioned it being like tonight, man. All those dynamics were in play. Let's see what the people think. Now, here's the deal. We have a full bank of calls. Everybody's got to go quicker. I have to do a better job of regulating this. Everybody get to your top couple points. Everybody's getting like 2 minutes, and we're going to keep it moving. Because we have a lot of people here. I'm not done with the super chats, by the way. I'm going to go back through them to make sure I didn't miss any.
Real quick, why don't you give a reminder to your callers about language and intoxication?
Yeah. If you're wasted and slurring your words, I'm hanging up on you. If you drop the F-bomb, I'm hanging up on you. I get mad too. I'm trying to have a family-friendly program. Those are the rules. It doesn't mean you can never call again. It doesn't mean we're not friends. It just means this ain't your night. Okay. $2 holler from Philip. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Michael, $5 holler, was wondering if you were on suicide watch in the fourth quarter, John. Sloppy, undisciplined. Coaches look lost at times. I was extremely stressed out, if you must know. $2 holler. Thank you, Brian. Hartman lowered his shoulder this week. Yeah, there was no way he was going to be short on that one. No way. Everybody knew it, too. $7 holler from Just Ed D. Gal. Ed D covered. Evans is a man. We have Audric, and that was not targeting. It is amazing. I don't understand. If a guy is diving down, his helmet's going to go down to hit somebody. His helmet's pointing down. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Like, I don't get it. He's diving down. I don't know what else you wanted him to do. $5 holler. Buckeye fan here. Hartman put it on his shoulders. Your defense is legit. Glad to see somebody else sweat it out with you boys. Yeah. Oh, it was a rough one. Thank you, Philip. They have a bye week after their tough game, like Notre Dame probably should add. Zachary, $20 holler. Coaches need to be questioned. It was just a rough night, man. The penalties, the discipline, I don't know, man. $5 holler. A win is a win. 5-1 should be 6-1 heading into our biggest rival. Oh, man. $5 holler from Adam. I'm going to need medical attention, John. I honestly was really pissed about the discipline and all the penalties. They need to get right. The penalties thing is not new tonight. They have been bad the last few weeks. And so that is, not so much last week, but before then it was rough. $20 holler from Tom. Good to see you guys at the tailgate, by the way. Got the win, but I don't feel good moving forward. We have to find a way to score. USC will boat race us. Keep it up, John. I'm not even ready to worry about that one yet because I got to worry about Louisville, and then we'll get into all those dynamics. You're right. Josh Miller, $50 holler. We needed this, John. Go for it. And I think I did hit the other ones. Yeah, Pat. Where's the victory cigar? They want to know for a $2 holler. Get it going in the house.
Yeah, get it going in the house. I do have a Flathead 660, but I might have to save that for tomorrow when we're taking the pontoon out for one last ride.
There you go. $5 holler GK3 is play action banned from the playbook. With how well we run it, it should be a darn staple. Come on. Yeah, I am surprised there hasn't been a little bit more of that. $5 holler from Jay Daly. Jay, it's good to get that. It's good that the swap thing, formerly BK, lost tonight. That did make me very, very happy. Gave up a lot of points. That was beautiful to see.
Can I real quick? So I was flipping back and forth with that game. Like I told, I'm done with him, so I don't care. But that was like a Big 12 football game. There was zero defense.
It was wild.
Oh, yeah, so bad.
It was wild. It was wild. Look at this. Notre Dame needs to play Catholic high schools. They are way over their head trying to play regular college teams. Just saying, you are a dumb person. Did you watch the game last week? You're an idiot. Quantum potential. You obviously don't have a quantum physics degree. That's why it's potential, because you're dumb. Notre Dame played with one of the most talented teams in the country down to the last half-inch line 1 week ago. Like, that's ridiculous. Now, if this was a few years ago or BK or something, then I'm with you. But that's ridiculous. They just took a top 3 talented team in the country down to the last inch. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, we're going to the phones. Everybody, your main couple points, keep it moving. I want to get everybody in here. Literally like 2 minutes. Let's go. 937, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey, John, I'm going to give you an outside opinion. It's your favorite Buckeye fan.
Oh, geez. I wouldn't even have taken you. I would not have taken you first if I knew it was you. What?
Okay. Good win, but I don't want to hear it now that Bertram's dropping the ball last week on that on that comeback when you had 2 drop potential interceptions on that last drive by Hartman. So, how Ken says it's just kind of it is what it is. It kind of happens. That's how the games roll. But I thought it was a really good win for Notre Dame to edge it out, man. But I don't know if you guys are going to win out now. Just watching that, I was a little bit surprised, especially how you guys started so hot.
Yeah,
But,
they left Notre
that's
again.
about it for me. I'll be
2
quick
weeks in
for
a
you.
row, man. 2 weeks in a row. Notre Dame left a lot of points out there on early drives, and it cost them last week, and it almost killed them again this time, man. Like, you got to take advantage of that. Notre Dame was kind of in control early, and they let it slip away without piling points up. And then you felt momentum going away. Listen, they have issues. There's no doubt. But at least they salvaged this, and they stopped the Titanic from going down.
I think Freeman needs to bring in some offensive minds, and in the next offseason, I think he doesn't. You guys have a great quarterback. I think Hartman is a really good quarterback. There's got to be, there's no way Duke's wide receivers are better than even Notre Dame's wide receivers with the hurt guys. I mean, there's got to be something going on.
You would like to think.
They got to be able to.
You would like to think, man. It's a little rough. It's a little rough back there. And I know Duke has a tough defense, but it was a little rough, bro. Like, it just was. So I'm happy to get the win, but there are a lot of issues. And I'm hopeful maybe they could take a deep breath now and clean some things up. But it was rough, man. I'm losing air by the handful. There's no doubt about it, brother.
Hey, and I got to say one last thing before I let you go. This week, listening to you, I just want to commend you. You are one of the greatest fans on the air on YouTube. I love you. And then hearing Mark Rogers call you yesterday, that was great. That was great stuff. And you're doing a great job, man. Keep it up.
Hey, thank you very much, man. Enjoy your bye and the low blood pressure. Okay, man. Have a good
Thank you. Have a great night.
Yeah, have a good night. Oh, man. 219, you're on the line. I like that. Keep it moving. What's up, JD?
Hey, what's up, John? Hey, I'm going to go real quick. So one thing was, I don't know if you got to watch at the end where Hartman waited on that Duke quarterback.
Yeah.
Just to say goodbye to him.
Very classy move. Very classy move.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's, as a fan thing, that's why we have to remember, I know Hartman's only been here 1 year, but he's taken Notre Dame and beaten Notre Dame. That's why we cheer for these boys. That's why we always got to support them. We always got to be with them because that's the kind of athletes they are, and that's why I do that. And number two, I think that who won this game was the fans. The people that showed up to that game and made noise on third down. I mean, you could hear it on TV. Incredible. Those fans could have went. They could have sold their tickets and said, I'm not going to the game. I'm still depressed. I don't want to be around it. No, they went to the game. They stood up. They cheered. It was loud in there. You could tell the difference. You got Hartman on the bleachers, waving his arms up in the air to get everybody fired up.
JD,
that's what I'm talking about.
JD,
that is the
listen,
two biggest things right there.
They saved it. Whatever this season could be, could still be, isn't going to be, I don't know yet. But to even find out, you had to find a way to scratch and claw this one out. We all knew this was going to be a rough, hard night. Like, we all knew that. And it was. And you did enough. There are a million things you got to clean up, but they did the bare minimum that you had to do to keep this thing afloat. And I'm going to keep saying it. My theme is I'm hopeful they can all exhale, get back to South Bend, let real life settle back in, and then be in a better mental and physical space to go to Louisville. Rough month for Notre Dame. It already was going to be, but with every one of them being prime time, whatever, they're all a bigger deal. They saved it, but there's a lot of issues and a lot of things I'm worried about. You won the game, but you also sprouted about 20 red flags, bro, that are just yelling at me. So it was, hey, you kept the boat afloat, JD.
Yep, it's a win's a win, and as Notre Dame fans, we'll take it. It's a lot easier to be on this show.
Oh man,
go to work tomorrow and then go to everywhere, and it's a lot easier on us. So hey, like you said, let's get back to normal. Let's get it going. We got a lot to work on, plenty of stuff on film to show the boys to work on, and let's go ahead and get the W next weekend. Thank you for what you're doing, John. God bless you. And
JD, man, your voice sounds a lot. You sound a lot better this week than you did a week ago, man. I'm happy for both of us that I could hear it in your voice and I can hear it in mine. We have a little different energy. This was not pretty. You ain't putting this one in the Hall of Fame of pretty football games. But I'll be damned if you didn't win it, and that's what it comes down to. And I'm happy for Freeman. There was a lot of – he was backed up against it, a lot of bad circumstances, and they pulled it out. And so I'm happy for him. But, JD, Oh, we got the win, and now take a deep breath and then worry about Louisville. Okay.
That's right. We'll take a deep breath. We'll wake up tomorrow and we'll get nervous for Louisville. So
there you
we'll
go, man. Have a good one, JD.
All right, brother.
Tell your lovely wife I
Thanks,
said hello. I'm thinking about her. Okay.
I got you. Appreciate
All right.
it, brother.
Yep.
See
Take
ya.
care. Have a good
Bye.
one. Oh man. All right. Super chats. We got more of them. Let's hit them. People like the faster pace, by the way, Pat. Whenever we've done that, people like it. The show moves along smoother. Everybody likes it. $20 holler from Jacob Brown. If we lost after last week, I would have driven into oncoming traffic. Man, you guys are my type of people. It's really upsetting. You guys are my type of people. Oh my God. $5 holler from Phillip. SEC defense looks absolutely horrible this year. Indy and Ohio State might meet again in the playoff. Like, dude, there have been just some weird setups this year. I don't know, Phillip. It is some of the SEC stuff. You're like, dude, am I watching the Big 12? Like Pat said, that's just whoever has the ball last is going to win. Like, Brian Kelly, get some defense down there in the bayou. You can't be giving up over a nickel. Are you kidding me? Oh, $5 holler, Brendan. I'm happy ND won, but this offense is showing red flags. Something needs to change. Defense blitz better and better tackling, but needs to improve. Bro, this offense is it. The more I'm seeing it, the more I'm starting to feel like we're going 4 years in reverse. And I know I know that the personnel's an issue, but man, it's tough. 615,
Hey, John.
make the lines come alive. What's going on?
Hey, John, what a crazy game, man.
Get used to it.
I felt like
Get used to it.
I felt I felt like the second and third quarter we were watching Drew Pine out there again.
Oh man,
Sam did
man. It was
Sam did a
rough.
great job, and you could tell he took the mistakes of last week at the end of the game and learned from them.
Yeah. And man, listen, it's really tough because I knew this was going to be a rough dynamic, but I still thought Notre Dame would be able to kind of build some more distance, and they were in position too early and they didn't. But I don't know, man. Pat, you can answer this too. Do you guys think that I'm naive by saying now maybe the guys could take a breather, get back to South Bend, let things calm back down and kind of reboot a little bit? Like last week blended into this one so much, like with the emotions and the news out of it and everything else. I'm open to that they could clean it up. I'm not guaranteeing it, but get a little healthier. Do you guys agree, or am I just hoping?
I don't know. I don't know. With Louisville, I don't think Louisville's a cupcake by any stretch. They're an undefeated football team. They're playing well.
Yeah. What do you think, caller?
Yeah, I think that they have no choice because Louisville's a good team, and they're capable of beating Notre Dame. If the offensive line, I mean, they didn't control the offensive line except for the first quarter and the last possession of the game, and they need to show up and do their job. I was going to ask you guys, Merriweather, he dropped like 2 or 3 balls right in his hand.
Dude, and then you got the penalty, the push off. Something just seems off. I feel like he's a guy who's thinking and not just playing, if that makes sense. Like, I just feel like I see the wheels spinning and it causes him not to just play. And I think when you play best when you just react, not do all that thinking. I don't know, man, but it's extremely, extremely frustrating. So there are a lot of problems. There's a lot to clean up, but I feel a lot better doing it in a week after a win on the ledger than a loss. That's the bottom line. Okay.
Oh, you're definitely right. And then Notre Dame's got to do something about the refs. I was listening to the game on the Notre Dame broadcast.
Yeah.
they were shocked at a bunch of the calls. And then the second week in a row, the ABC broadcast said, wait a minute, this call where the ball was called out of bounds at the 1 yard line with the ref right there, they said it's unreviewable.
Yeah.
They can't turn it over.
Yep.
And I just flashed back to last week when we get called for a holding penalty and Ohio State didn't get the reception, and then the refs
changed it. Yeah.
Flip it to pass interference.
Yeah, it's been wild. And I just think it's been bad every game. I'm not just saying that. Like, it has objectively been bad. I also don't like when they keep throwing flags and then every time they have a big conference and then go decide to what their story's going to be. And then they all huddle and then whatever comes out of it, bro. It's been bad all year. And that's why it's like Jimmy Johnson said about Miami in 88 coming to Notre Dame. Jimmy Johnson told his guys, we're playing in Notre Dame. You cannot have this game close enough that you leave it in the referee's hands. He was of the opinion playing in Notre Dame, they're going to get the home cooking calls. And he told his guys, you got to get up by enough that they can't screw you, even if they're trying to screw you. So whatever, man. We had 9 penalties before Duke had 1. The discipline's out of control.
That was unbelievable.
Out of control. So I don't know, man.
Well,
I'm glad we got the win, but there are red flags more than a golf course. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we pulled the win out. And I don't know. I heard you talking earlier that Pat may be in Durham, and
he was faking us out.
I don't know if he went there, but I'm just glad that I'm glad Notre Dame won, or else it would have been a heck of a week for Pat. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
You guys have a good evening.
Yeah, you take care, man. Hey, thanks for the call. Do appreciate that.
I'm sitting here in Indiana, folks. I did not go. I was just screwing with John.
Here's the other one, Pat. Here's the other one I have an issue with. So they throw the pass interference flag when we're on offense.
And then they pick it up.
We're uncatchable, okay? Yes, it was uncatchable because our guy
because he couldn't get back to it.
Yes.
Because he couldn't get back to it. He clearly saw it. He was trying to go back to it, and the Duke defender, that penalty blew my mind because that has gone against Notre Dame so many times this year.
Dude, it's
no
unreal. Wonder it's uncatchable. You didn't let our guy move to go catch it.
I don't remember watching Notre Dame we're 6 games through the year already. How many times has a flag been thrown and then picked up?
Yeah.
Where it would have been in Notre Dame's favor. One other thing I want to touch on, everyone, the offense, the offense not playing well. Can it just be that Notre Dame played against 2 of the best defenses they're going to see all year?
Yeah, it could be, but nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that, but
nobody wants to hear that. And that doesn't answer all the penalties, right? Like that doesn't answer.
Those are different.
But again, like the running game, Pat, you got the big one from Estime. And by the way, Pat, you know what? I'm really happy for Audric because he didn't get his chance to be the hero last week and he should have. And I'm glad to see him be the one that nailed the spike down the heart tonight at the end there. So good for him because he should have had a chance for that moment a week ago, exactly right now. And he didn't. So I'm very happy for him that he was able to do that. And I'm happy for Hartman too. I'm happy for Hartman. He put that drive. It was a frustrating night for that guy. And he put that drive together at the end.
Yeah.
And Rico, good job by Rico. When everybody's down, he was out there doing the best he could tonight. Good job by him.
No, there was
a fighter. That's a fighter.
Yeah. No, there's definitely positives to see from this game. I thought, but oh God, there were so many things that just wanted to make you pull your hair out.
Dude, my hair's falling out. You know, when they interviewed Freeman coming out of the app, Freeman looks like he aged 4 years in a week, man. He looked like he had some long nights this week, bro. He looked like a president in a second term. Like he looked like he aged a little bit, man.
That's Notre Dame.
He really did. It is. It's, you know what it is? President, Yankees manager, Notre Dame coach, baby. That's it. That's about it. 202, we're talking to you. I can only imagine what we're going to get here. What's up?
I'm recovering from my deep bout with nausea that started in about the mid-third quarter.
Of last week or this
But
week? Of last week or this week? You got to be more specific. Yeah.
And,
Oh, God.
I in the fourth quarter, I settled into the thing that I do where I just sort of dissociate from my body and try not to feel anything. Listen, John, I guess I'm turning the tables on you tonight. I'm here to be the happy hearts and flower girl.
Okay.
Listen. We could have lost that game so easily.
Yep.
Our boys could have just lain down and been like, F this effing S.
Yep.
Our coaches messed us over last week.
Yep.
And our play calling tonight has sucked. And I'm over it and I don't even care.
Yeah.
And
they didn't.
Hartman, I think it was Hartman, was like, no, that is not what's happening right now. What is happening right now is that we are going to drive down this field with one timeout and a minute 29 left. And that run, that crazy run he had, because Duke was convinced that he doesn't have legs, right? And they just gave him the whole field and he took it. And something switched. And what's great about your show, what your signature is, John, you're about vibe, you're about feeling, you're about atmospherics. You felt it turn. And I looked down at my Twitter account and then I looked up and Audric is in the end zone. And I thought it was a replay of his first touchdown. It took me like 25 seconds to be like, whoa, what?
Hey.
Yeah, he did it.
Maybe you should quit watching more often. Look down at your phone more often if good things are going to happen. Look at it that way. Listen, this was a big moment. It was a big moment for Freeman. It was a big moment for this particular team. They had every opportunity in the world to lay down here and just go, this is it. It's over. And they didn't. And that is the number one thing you got to ask out of your football team you love is never stop fighting, keep grinding, find a way, even when it's hard. What though the odds are great or small, all that stuff. I got to give them credit. They made it happen and they found a way. Pat is right. Inside Notre Dame media, we are going to be very hard on them for what a lot of this looked like. Nationally, it looks a lot better nationally. Let's put it that way. You got a tough win and a tough road game against a good defensive team, and you're going to get credit for that. But they did what they had to do, and I'm proud of them. I'm happy for Freeman. People are already calling for him to be fired. I'm at least glad that they won the game. Think of what it'd be like if they didn't.
Oh, I know what it'd be like if it didn't, but they dug down. Somebody said the right thing to somebody. And then let's give a lot of credit as well that Freeman didn't play for the field goal. They called a play call and they must, I'm not an X's and O's gal, but they did something that run by Audric worked this time. It hasn't worked the last 29 times, but it worked that time.
Got it. Good for him, man.
And then they went for two, and then I really about threw up.
Yeah.
And it was pitch and catch. So I think he's got his mojo back because he was looking shaky and not himself the whole first half. Mitchell Evans.
That's a dude.
Just give him the Mackey right effing now. I'm done. We're done with this. Give him the Mackey.
The Georgia guy looked good again today. Bowers looked good again. But you know what you needed? You needed a guy when you know your wide receiver depth is an issue. You needed a guy to step up and say, give me the ball. I'm going to catch it. And he was that guy, especially early in the game. And I'm very, very thankful for that. He stepped up in a big way when we needed him. Now I hope things level out this week and ND comes a little more put together to Louisville. And so I don't know, but it's better to complain about things after a win. I know I feel better about it tonight, and I hope you do too, my friend.
I do, and I'm not even going to complain other than not having Botello for the first half at Louisville is going to hurt.
Yeah, I don't like that call either.
And I have no...
Yeah.
These people, the refs are corrupt, okay? They have an economic motive to screw us. And the thing is, John, those were ACC refs. because we're an ACC team, basically.
Yeah.
So the visitor brings the ref, but we are ACC. Now, we used to be MAC, and before that, we were Big Ten, and now we're ACC. But as between Duke and Notre Dame, they're going to go with them every time. And so that PI call on our last drive was an absolute Christmas present.
There you go.
If that had been in the first quarter, they would not have called that. So that was a gift, and Hartman knew it was a gift, and he didn't squander it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are absolutely shenanigans going on. And
Hey, we'll
I don't know what Dak or
I'll
the
take
Backlash
it.
can do about it. But look, we won the game and we covered. We're going to be at least top 10 because Utah lost. And we have to give a moment to acknowledge Brian Kelly is out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
and his whole school wants him dead.
Yep, I did enjoy that very much. That is a cherry on top of the victory tonight. Enjoy it, my friend. Eat your victory pizza, and then we'll talk to you next week. Okay, have that victory pizza. Thank you.
All right. Good night. Bye bye.
See ya. Oh man, 773. You're talking to me. What's going on tonight?
Hey, John, it's Tom Frawley. Hi, Pat. I'm just checking in, guys. I saw a couple. I'm not going to point out the painfully obvious. I saw some things that need to be addressed with Jared Parker. I caught 4 defensive tendencies that Duke was lined up in every time Notre Dame went 12 personnel, and they ran the ball between the tackles with Estime. They adjusted down for it, and they were doing both inside fluxes because they knew he was going to hit the A gap or the B gap. So you had 4 men in the hole before he even got there. Yeah. So that takes the trap game, and it takes the trap and it takes the trap game away, and it takes the reverses away, and it takes misdirection away most of all. So by the second half, in the second half, they should have made the adjustments at halftime to at least try to run some misdirection with some of the faster guys, because Estime is fabulous once he gets past the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's not quick from the backfield to the line of scrimmage. That's where you could use Love and Jardinian Price in a second half adjustment for that run game. And if I can pick up those 4 or 5 plays, those tendencies that they were doing, don't you think a defensive or an offensive coordinator at the level of Notre Dame should be able to pick that out and put a wrinkle in? I do.
Yeah, and Parker's getting a lot of heat in the chat. People are all saying this isn't working and it's not creative and I'm not seeing what I want to see and all that. And I don't know, maybe they just felt like, oh, we don't have our receivers. We're going to have to do whatever conservative, and do, whatever. But it was just a rough night, a frustrating night. And again,
you know what,
Tom, what's bugging me is Notre Dame again was in a big game moment, moving the ball early and didn't put up points, man. You didn't score enough when you had chances early to build a bigger lead. And that's 2 weeks in a row that's happened. And you lost last week because of it. And you got away with it this week. That's an issue too. You're moving the ball. You got to put up points, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think there's a takeaway here. I've got to go back. When I hang up, I'm going to go back and look at the game film again. And I just want to double check the tendencies and to see if I'm right. And if I can pick it out, I think one of the other things is they went conservative on that 11 personnel and 12 personnel because they didn't have those receivers. And the other thing that was killing them was those pre-snap penalties, all the offside and procedure penalties. It took them out of their rhythm. So you couldn't get the rhythm going. And I think that, that definitely, would they have 7 in the first half?
Yeah, it was
or
bad.
8.
It was bad. Let me see.
Yeah. So if they eliminate that, I think you'd see them get into a rhythm in the running game.
Tom, Notre Dame had 12 12 penalties for 70 yards. Duke had 2 all night. We had, we had 12.
That's the deal.
Yeah, 12.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go rewatch the film. I'll figure it out. I'll give you a call Monday. But you know what? At least we won.
Yeah.
It got over that hump of a late, a ball game down to the wire, and they made a couple of big plays to at least get us over the hump.
Yep.
But boy, they got some problems.
Yep. Nope. Hey, Tom, that's exactly how I see it. Although I'm in a lot better mood to yell about the problems after a win. So that is my saving grace for this week. And then we'll see what's up in Louisville.
Yeah.
But hey, Tom, I want you to, number 1 is stay healthy, my friend. And number 2 is
I will
do your research. Give us a call back on the Monday show and fill us in on what you saw after the rewatch. Okay, buddy?
Will do. Talk to you later. Be good.
Yep.
Good night, Pat. We'll see you later.
Have a good one, Tom. Man, that's a good guy. That dude loves Notre Dame so much. Hey, Pat, why don't we bring this guy up? It's Adam Dowling. What's going on, buddy? What up? Yo, Adam.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, buddy?
Well, I got to get out of my living room because we got you guys on the TV in the living room, so I got to get out of there.
Oh man, I like that. I get 2 views from the same house. I like that. Keep it going, Adam. What do you make of this, man? I know you're frustrated with a lot of things.
Holy crap! Okay,
yeah, let it
the
rip.
last 2 weeks have taken 20 years off my life.
Yep. Yeah, it's been rough, man. It's been right. At least we won it this time, but there are a lot of issues. Adam, tell me the top couple things that worry you, man. What worries you the most? Give me a couple items.
I felt like we were out coached all night. That's my biggest issue.
Yeah,
the penalties.
The penalties.
And most of the
rough.
time with the penalties kind of lead back to a little bit coaching and discipline and attention to detail. That really bothers me.
Yeah, and I don't know, you want to see that clean up. I was hoping after last week, maybe, I don't know, man. What is that? Like how do you coach out those motion penalties? Like, what is that? Is that a timing thing? Or like, what is causing that to happen a handful of times?
I think it's just focus and attention to detail. So maybe last week caused that, but we've had that issue kind of all year, John.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's just a little rough. And the other thing, Adam, is, and I don't like this either, so our special teams has regressed from Notre Dame this year. They have. They're not blocking kicks. The kick coverage is not, they're not blocking punts. The kick coverage is not as good as it was last year. And your field goal guy is not even at 50%. And I don't like that either. There's been regression in special teams. I was worried about it last year when Mason left and whatever. So I don't like that either. But it's Adam, I don't know, man. What do you make about the offense? It was just, it reminded me of like a Kelly offense a few years ago, bro.
It was terrible. No one could get open. And I kind of feel bad for Rico in a sense, even though he made some plays, but I think he's more of a slot receiver. He's not an outside guy. And they were wanting him to play on the outside. And it's just not his spot. And what it shows, John, we've had a few injuries, but it just shows how bad the previous regime was in recruiting receivers.
Yeah.
We have got to the point where we had 4 scholarship receivers on the roster tonight. 4.
Yeah. And everybody talked about that, Adam, in the summer. Everybody goes, okay, in a perfect world where nobody gets injured, Notre Dame has a full rotation of receivers they feel kind of good about. But the reality is, some of those guys are going to get hurt. And then it had to happen after Ohio State. This was just a bad dynamic. It was already a bad dynamic. And then you hear, this guy's out. And then the week goes on and this guy's out and this guy's out. And I think Merriweather has a problem in his brain. He's thinking and not playing, and you could see it. And I don't know how you break him out of it. Very frustrating. I'm happy Freeman pulled it out. I'm happy Hartman pulled it out. I'm glad Estime got the chance to finish a game like he should have last year. And And you know, I don't know, man. It's frustrating, but at least we got the win.
The issue was too, we should have been up like 24-6, like in the first half.
Absolutely.
We were just dominating them.
Absolutely.
We should have been up by a lot more. Oh, and I know everyone's been talking about the refs. Did you hear them talk about that pylon thing where they overturned the?
Yep.
I mean, that was like one of the biggest plays of the game, and they just decided to video it when they had no right to.
Yeah, that's not a reviewable play, and they went ahead and reviewed it because, I don't know, Notre Dame's in town, I guess. Logan, I see you, 301. Yeah, I don't know, man.
With Pello, have you ever seen targeting to the leg? Have you ever heard that one before?
I just can't. I don't understand the idea of if a guy is an offensive player is going down, kind of lowering, and then our guy dives there to make a play, he's not launching. He's trying to make the play. He's jumping down. His helmet's going to be pointing down. Whatever. At least we won. And somebody else said, it pissed me off in the chat. Quit blaming the refs. Listen, multiple things could be true at once. Notre Dame could have a lot of problems, and the refs could be bad. Both of those could be true at the same time. I'm not blaming the refs for the problems Notre Dame has, but their incompetence doesn't help any.
No.
Anyways, Adam, we got to at least we won. You got to get right this week, though.
Yeah. And another thing that was extremely concerning to me was, like, we did perimeter runs. Like, they were obviously stuffing the between the tackle runs. Why not get Jeremiah Love on the edges?
Yeah.
Because anytime that kid touches the ball, it is positive yards, and he is fast.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and I would like, you know what else, Adam? I thought tonight we may see more passing game action with those running backs because we're down wide receivers and how good those guys are in space. I really thought maybe this would be the game you get those guys more involved in the short and intermediate passing game. So there's a lot not to like. Gerard Parker's taken a lot of heat, but at least we won, man. Anything on the way out, Adam? Yeah. Tell your wife me and Pat said hello too, okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. The wife, Tiffany, was definitely screaming and yelling, and she's watching you guys in the living room right now. But I guess the offense, we got to kind of give the defense credit. The game plan was good. They pretty much did their part, but the offense really needs to go back to work because even if we can get by next week, in 2 weeks, that is not going to work.
You're going to need to score, and you're going to need to score points. Like, it's going to be, and I already am thinking about that, but I got to let's get through Louisville first. Hey, man, thanks for the call tonight. Have a good one.
All right, John. Yep, we'll talk to you.
See you, buddy.
Later, Adam.
Oh, man. Dude, I don't know what you want me to say. Jay Carr, you got to realize all the people who I'm saying hi to the wives, these are all people I've met in person. Like, there's a reason I'm saying say hi to the wife. And the other one I said, I'm thinking about your wife. Like, there are real life situations here where I know some of these people and their wives. That's why I'm saying that. Otherwise, there's no way I know all these people are married. Give me a damn break. Drowsy Dragon. John will never call out Freeman's failures.
Clearly, he didn't watch the show last week.
All I've been doing is saying, obviously you clearly missed the whole last week of all my shows, all of my writings. You didn't pay attention to any of that, okay? Because all we said was that was a coaching failure last week. So totally inaccurate. And even after last year, I was saying, I support Marcus, but a lot of things need to get a lot better. And it's unacceptable in these areas. So, but the whole last week, I did nothing but blame the staff for not putting the guys in a position to win. So you can't nail me on that. I'm sorry. I try and be fair with this stuff. 219, you're on the line. What's going on, Pete?
John, how are you? Good to hear from you.
I'm telling you, buddy, I feel a lot better after this week than I did last week. What are your thoughts on this game, man? It is stressful. Do you got any air left?
Well, you remember at my house you said you feared yourself dying of a heart attack or a stroke on the show?
Yeah, I did say that. I still have that fear. Yes.
Yes. Well, add me to that category with you, because these games are not for the faint of heart. And, well, here's a concern also about the special team. What was Tyree thinking on that punt?
I don't know. But the special teams has regressed in almost every category. Listen, the coverages are not that good this year. The kicker is less than 50%. You had the punt situation here. I don't like the coverages. I don't. Our punts tonight, the guy wasn't hitting them flush. The special teams is regressing, and I don't like it. And it blew the game last week. So I have a problem with that. And everybody made fun of me when I was on here all upset when we lost Mason to the NFL. I got 20 emails saying, John, you're a big baby. It's just special teams, and you're spending an whole episode crying we lost our guy. And I said, if you want to have that position, fine. But next year, if special teams messes up for us, you're not allowed to complain then. If you're going to shame me for being upset we lost our guy. So whatever.
Well,
whatever.
Well, and you're proven to be right here.
I don't want to
be
right.
Well,
I don't want to be right about that, but I am. And now
I hear you.
I don't know, dude. What do you make of the offense, Pete? What did you make of that tonight? It was a struggle.
It was. It didn't help having those receivers out, but still, you figure they're stacking the box against us. Our receivers aren't winning those one-on-one matchups, that they need to win. Other than basically our tight end, Mitchell Evans.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that dude was a dude today, man, and you needed him. Somebody needed to step up knowing we were going to be in bad shape on the outside, and I give that guy credit. And again, it was a very frustrating night for Hartman. You could tell the last 2 weeks have worn him down, and he was frustrated. I'm happy for him that they put it all together, man. They did what they had to do. But this team had some major issues right now, and they got to get them right. At least you patch that leak at the bottom of the boat tonight, and you're staying afloat. But you really got to figure some stuff out here. Take a deep breath on the flight home. Everybody can exhale, and you have to seriously get back to work this week because there was a lot not to like there. But we all knew it was going to be a tough, frustrating, annoying night, and it was. And at least we didn't lose this time, Pete.
You're right. And
man.
Well, with the penalties also, another thing too, amazing how Vegas tends to be right on these spreads a lot too. We were 5.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
So, let's face it. You hate thinking this, but you figure the referees know the spreads on these games too.
Hey, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on. I just know they've been bad in almost every single Notre Dame game. Objectively bad. Not like just for Notre Dame or against Notre Dame. Objectively bad. And I totally disagree with the huddle up and get your story straight. And what are we going to say to cover for who made a mistake? I'm sick of them throwing flags and picking them up. Why'd you throw it if you saw it? I'm sick of them changing calls after they throw it. Like, it's all been bad. I need Notre Dame to get up by enough that none of these calls are going to screw up my night and my damn hairline, all right?
Yeah, well, a positive also that you talked about too was, and what a shock, Brian Kelly lost another big game on the road.
That's just a shame, Pete. I'm heartbroken over that. I truly am. It really upsets me to see Kelly go down in purple-faced flames. Like, it's beautiful. Hey, Pete, there's nothing better than Notre Dame winning, Kelly losing. If Michigan lost, that would have made it better. So I don't know, Pete. We got to take a deep breath here, and they really got to get some things right on offense next week. They got to figure something out. They're getting more and more like one-dimensional. It feels like we're going backwards instead of forwards, and it's very frustrating. Anything else, my friend?
A comment and a question. You said on your show this week that Mike Elko was a smart coach, which is He definitely is, and he had a good game plan. Now, the game last week or this week, do you think we win either of those games under Kelly?
No. No, actually, this one felt like a Kelly Notre Dame game, how ugly it was with the offense, and then you pull it out. The issue I had last week was people were saying, John, do you really think that if Kelly was the coach, we wouldn't add 11 guys, on the field for the last play? And my answer was he might add 11 guys out there, but we would have been down 4 scores, so it wouldn't have freaking mattered. That's my honest to God answer is he would add 11, but we would have been down 24 points and it wouldn't even have mattered. That's my genuine answer. Big game, Brian Kelly, Notre Dame always failed, man. So whatever. Pete,
Ohio State would have been in victory formation, basically taking a knee then.
Oh yeah. So I'm whatever. I'm done with him. He's 4-4 in his last 8. He could enjoy all that. Okay. Pete, it's good to connect with you, buddy. I hope you have a good night. And I could feel the stress in your voice, but at least we won and you could sleep easy. All right, man?
I'll sleep a lot easier tonight than I did a week ago. And I hope you do as well, because I know this last week had to take its toll on you.
Yeah, it was a very rough week for me, man. I was struggling and I did not do a mature job of navigating all of what happened, and that's on me, but I took it hard and let it run its course, and it is what it is.
There you go again.
Thanks for the call, buddy.
Thanks, John. Please give your family my best.
I will. Have a good one, man. I'll give you a call soon. I owe him a phone call. Oh boy, 301. Let's have a little fun. What's going on?
Hey, John, I'm going to use your line in your intro. Sometimes it's just good to yell about football. You probably heard me yelling from Maryland when Notre Dame made that 4th and 16, and I was sticking it. I don't have to worry about your blood pressure tonight, and I'm happy for the win. I wonder what you think.
Man, buddy, I'm telling you, Notre Dame is just so stressful. Like nothing could just be easy. It's just like stress on stress on stress, and it's just, I say it all the time. If you're going to have a laundry list of complaints, make it after a win. Everybody's in a better mood to make corrections and to figure out what the hell went wrong and we didn't do good enough after a win, okay? I'm glad those guys could be on that plane, exhale with the victory and figure it out. I am just, it was a stressful situation, bro. Really stressful.
You're not kidding. And John, I know I listen to you all the time, obviously, and I know you said you've never, you want to witness something, but I'm telling you, as following Notre Dame all these years, I'm older than you, this is what Notre Dame does, or did when I was following them younger, during the 88. They find a way to win. 4th and 16, it wasn't looking good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It wasn't looking good, but they found a way to win this game. This is what it was like back in 88. They were against Southern Cal. They found a way to win and whatnot. But this was a big win tonight. And Notre Dame should have had a bye tonight. I talked to my Ohio State fan there on my route today, and he wasn't worried about Ohio or Notre Dame last week. I said, well, let me ask you, were you worried about us at all during the game? He said, I was worried about the game at halftime. He thought they were going to lose at halftime.
Yeah.
But this was a big win tonight.
Man, the
penalties and all that. Don't right this ship now. We needed a bye this week. We had too many penalties tonight, too many wrong things going on. Now you go back to Notre Dame, you fix up for Louisville, you'll get that all straightened out. This was a big win. Because I was worried about this game, even if we would have won against Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
This was circled, and everybody knew this was going to be something. And then when they beat Clemson early in the year, then it ramped up in profile. People looked at Duke differently. All of the dynamics were against Notre Dame this week, and it wasn't a secret. Yeah. Everybody knew the vibes were bad. They were flying high. They had game day. They had the quarterback. Everybody was talking about they had the night undefeated. They're a basketball school, so the fact that football's good is a novelty, so there was extra emotion wrapped into that. Like, they They had all that. And it's like, hey, dummy, Duke was ranked. Somebody said, yeah, everybody knows that Duke was ranked. Everybody knows that. But having this kind of environment built up for a night game is abnormal for them. I know they're ranked. I know they have a tough defense. I respect Riley. I respect Elko. He's going to get a big promotion here to another job, I think, soon. All of that's true. Notre Dame had to fight, claw, scratch, get any damn win on the ledger, and then be able to exhale and start to try and get right on offense this next week.
Oh, I tell you, nothing was working up the middle, John. I don't know if you see, but I'm yelling at the TV screen all night. Give a pitch out to Love. Give our speed, instead of trying to go estimate up the middle for the whole game. Every time they try to pitch it outside or work outside, give it to our speed backs and give them some space and work. It would work, but they just kept trying to go up the middle. And I'm telling you, that last play, it looked like Notre Dame Hartman didn't even know what play to call. I mean, it looked like they were looking over there. The play clock kept ticking, and they handed it off to Estime. And next thing you know, he went up the middle for a touchdown. I don't know if you thought the same thing. I thought, oh my God, they don't know what play to call here. Here we go again. The play clock was winding down, but it worked. But anyhow, what I wanted to tell you, I don't want to tie up your line. This is a win they had to have. They found a way to get it on the road. Now come back to Notre Dame and not right the ship, but I mean, calm down a little bit. Go to Louisville and gear toward you got to get through Louisville now next week.
Yeah, listen, I fully expect Notre Dame to play Louisville and be a lot more put together than they were in this game for a lot of reasons. Do you agree? Do you agree with that? That now you could kind of take a breath, hopefully get some wide receivers back. Yeah. And then let the whole stress of the Ohio State thing leading into this week and all that, it all bled together to end up being like a 2-week stretch, really. I'm glad that's all over and you did what you needed to do, but I'm not going to act like everything's great. You have issues, but man, I feel better going over the issues after an ugly win.
Yes, I do. And I feel better going to bed tonight knowing I don't have to worry about your blood pressure. I tell you, I see you're good tonight. I would have liked to know your blood pressure on that 4th and 16.
Oh, man, dude, it's just, I'm so used to it now. I think my body is like adjusted to the high blood pressure. It's my homeostasis level now. It's my baseline. My baseline is the stroke zone, so to speak. Oh man! But
I wanted you to know that when like I said, you don't remember. You want to just remember Notre Dame. How you hear stories of how it was. That's how it was. Whenever they were down, you knew they'd come back. And it didn't look good there for the longest time. And they found a way to win this game. And I'm hoping they can build on it and just ride on into with some momentum here for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man. Hey, at least you got the win, and that's the biggest thing. But nothing's easy, baby.
You'd be tickled. I tell you, if it came down to a kick, I told my wife I was leaving.
Oh,
I said, I'm not going to watch this kicker. I know we got a kicker that can kick it 60 yards, but we don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, yeah. Nope. I tweeted, it's just like my 300-yard drives. It doesn't matter if I don't know where they're going. Like I have no problem with the distance. It's just which way it's going to go, bro. And it doesn't matter. So that guy's on my nerves. And now I got to worry about every one of those kicks. I mean, they're exhale. That's the big thing. This flight is an exhale flight back to South Bend.
Yes, you're not kidding.
And everybody needs to get in an ice bath or whatever and let the 2 weeks before just go away, get themselves healthy, get their minds right, be able to refocus. I fully expect them to be in a much better position going to Louisville and have a much more put together operation. I'd be surprised if they don't. But that's how I see it, man. Hey, I appreciate the call. Thank you very much.
Hey, John, I appreciate you taking the call. I'll leave on 2 points. Player of the game is the tight end, obviously. He made some heck of a plays. And the play of the game, I didn't see it. I thought about it, but I didn't think they would do it. That fake punt in the beginning of the game. What a great call that was.
Yeah, what a great call. And he's the perfect guy because of his speed to get around the edge.
Yes.
It was
That's
good.
what I mean about pitching the ball out to him. Give him a pitch out rather than a hand up the middle.
Yeah.
Give him a pitch out pitch out to the outside. Let him use his speed to the strong side of the field rather than the short side of the field, and let Notre Dame let him use that speed and space and go.
Yeah.
But hey, John, I love your show. I'm going to get other callers on the line. Thank you for taking my call, and have a good night, buddy.
Have a good one, man. Thanks for the kind words. Pat, you're sitting there. What's on your mind? I see your wheels spinning.
I'm watching Tommy Reese's offense blow up Mississippi State.
Oh, yeah.
No, actually, I was thinking about two things. The first is the Duke probably feels like we did after Ohio State, that they were the better team, that they outplayed us, that they deserved to win that game, and that I don't know if they could really say they shot themselves in the foot, but Duke probably feels like we felt. And then Marcus Freeman said something at halftime, because I texted you right when the game started. I said, all right, I think we know the answer to the first question. This team came out ready to play. They dominated on off. They went right down the field on offense. They did have to do a fake punt to get that first down to score a touchdown, but they played good. And then defense, they were lights out, absolutely lights out. But then he came back at halftime and said, everybody is like too geared up. Everybody needs to kind of relax and get back to settle down. Unfortunately, coming out of the second half, Duke was the team that settled down. Notre Dame was not. It put them on their heels. But a good response by Notre Dame to end that game, to get moved down that field. He said, the last caller, he said he thought the fake punt was the play of the game, and he thought the tight end was the player of the game. Sam Hartman, 4th and 16, was the play of the game, and he was the player of the game because of that play alone.
Yeah. That's a big time play at a big moment where you had to have it. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Yep. I'm happy for him. I could see some frustration with him carrying over from last week into this.
I understood your point with Estime in terms of being happy for Estime that he got that touchdown. And I don't think Notre Dame was trying to score a touchdown. I think Notre Dame was trying to set up for the field goal, because I don't think Freeman clearly still has confidence in this kid. I don't know what he looks like in practice, but I don't like what he looks like in games. But Notre Dame was clearly setting up for a touchdown, and Estime just found a hole and he ran through it. But the frustration that Hartman was going through, and the way he stepped up 95 yards, almost getting a safety, to take that team down the field. That was a great job by Sam Hartman.
Yep. Good job by him. Let's blow through a bank of calls. 443, you are talking to me. What's going on?
Hey, John. Good to talk to you.
Yeah.
The takeaways from this is what we talked about last night. Missed tackles, undisciplined behavior. For whatever reason, we keep vacating the slot where our nickel package plays the outside shoulder. It's where every team goes for, over the middle of the field. And I have to agree with Pat, the slow developing run plays. I don't know if they're slow developing run plays or our running backs just aren't hitting the hole. Jeremiah Love, he hits it, makes a decision, and goes. But the missed tackles, the problem I'm starting to think is we're so far into the season, I don't think we're going to get the discipline issue corrected or the missed tackle thing corrected at this point, because we're so far into the season. These things should already be cleaned up.
You know what? The missed tackle thing is really bugging me, because I don't know, is that a result of you're not being physical in practice and making them do that because you don't want to get people hurt? Like what is the root cause of having a sloppy tackling team a lot of weeks? Do you need to wrap up in practice? And I don't know what the cause of that is.
Well, it's a foreign technique. It requires effort, and it requires practice. The problem is I'm not at practice. I don't know if they are practicing it or how they are doing it, but we have enough linebacker coaches where we should be able to figure it out. But the last thing is, during the game, here's what I also think. The inexperience in coaching, I knew we were going to have to deal with it, but it's showing in certain situations. And the Parker thing, I'm sitting here and I'm going, I never felt like the Ludwig box this summer was more felt than tonight, because it was just like, I didn't like his game plan. I didn't know what he was trying to accomplish. I mean, we pulled the one out with Estime at the end, but I mean, running backs were missing the reads. I mean, Payne ran into the defender and didn't go behind the butt. That's basic thing. But it's just like, we were all over the place. And I got to be honest, Duke deserved to win the game, but we pulled it out of our butt. The best note is I'm still alive. I don't know how. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
At one point, I was like, well, maybe John will live on, but I'm going to go on 4th and 16.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it, and you know what? The play of the game had to be Hartman, because last week on Ohio State, where he kind of soft-shouldered it and didn't get the first down.
Wasn't going to happen again. Yep, wasn't going to let that happen again tonight.
He ran in there like a man, and he threw his body in there.
Yep.
And I just want to say it's a blessing talking to you. I know you got other callers. Have a blessed night. Thanks, Pat, and take care,
Hey,
fellas.
thank you very much, man. Thanks for the call. Man, I got some nice callers.
Sometimes when Notre Dame wins, they sure are nice.
And you know what else, Pat, hold on.
Yeah.
The other thing is, last week was a good week for the brand. We had a lot of growth just because of all the attention of Ohio State. But I've noticed way more trolls after the big growth spurt. Now the trolls, there's more than ever.
Here's my favorite part about that. The trolls think they're in here like hurting you, but in actuality, they're bumping up your numbers, which is helping you. And it cracks me up. Like, all right, hey, guys, do what you got to do.
Pat, there was a guy last night that was making fun of Notre Dame and making fun of me all night, right? And I don't know who he is. He came out of nowhere. He was donating $5 for every one-liner. I go, buddy, keep it going. I said, keep that shit going. You're not bugging me. Let it go. But he was nice enough to donate $5 every time he ripped me. And I'm like, hey, buddy, go for it. Keep on doing it. It was hilarious. I'm like, and they were not like crossing the line, Pat, just like basic insults. And I'm like, for $5, keep it coming, buddy.
Yeah. Right. You can make fun of me all night if you pay me.
Yeah. Hey, Pat, I'm going to run upstairs real quick. Here's Rodney. Talk to him. We'll see if he's of sound mind tonight. Rodney, what up?
Hey, guys. What's up now, man? I haven't had a drink for about 2 hours before the game started. So
man,
I'm in good. Dude, I practiced on some stuff today, man, as far as breathing exercises throughout the game. John, I knew this game was going to be like this. I mean, this game.
I know. It was the most predictable of the year.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it was just like the inverse. It was like you said, Pat, the inverse of last week. Like Duke, I mean, it wasn't at the goal line where the end of the game came, but still, I mean, you had 4th and 15, like a 3rd and 19, very similar. And
right.
Wow. I mean, when I saw him get around the edge, and I was like, okay, he may actually. Oh my God, he's gonna do it.
Oh, I know. I couldn't believe it when he came
wait
around.
For a field goal.
Yeah, I could not believe it when he picked up that 4th and 16. Rodney, do you think this changes anything for you as far as like the coaching staff with Ohio State versus now how this game went?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. I say that one more time?
Yeah. Did this change anything for you as it relates to the mistake in the Ohio State game and then Notre Dame turning around and pulling this game out?
Well, I mean, okay, so the coaching staff took a big hit last week, 10 men on the field. I get it. Tonight, this game felt almost like a couple other times over Marcus Freeman's tenure, but an Oklahoma State game when the collapse happened and you felt it coming, and Navy as well last year, where you just felt like the momentum about to change or you're just not going back in the other direction, and somehow they found, and like it's like what John was saying all week, they have to do this, they have to get past this for this to be behind them. It's like they play with the nerves of they're the most nervous team in football in the big moments. And it's just like a curse or something, man. It's like they just get so nervous, like we all do. It's almost like the fan base and the players in Notre Dame Nation just has this collective nerve thing that happens when if things go off a little bit, and there's like 2 or 3 in a row of that happening. The officiating was just, God,
Rodney,
awful tonight,
you know what I think it is? I've been really considering this a lot since last week's game is at some point, Notre Dame's got to get over the hump. And I think all it takes is
I just told Pat that, John.
They just got to win. They got to find a way to win one of those moments. And I think it cracks open everything. They break the seal. The pressure goes away. We're no longer running joke of the nation that we can't win a big game. All of that. And then I think that will start to change. You'll be able to say, we did it. We won one of these, and it'll eliminate a lot of that stress. But what we are learning is climbing that mountain is hard. And Notre Dame wasn't quite there last week. There's a lot of work to do. And there's a lot of work to do after this one, but I'd rather do it after a win.
Oh my God! I mean, there's no question about that, man. You 2 games in a row like this. I mean, if you lost another one, they died. Honestly, I was thinking, okay, let's be fair about this. I think about 20-0 or 20-3 might have been the fair score that game should have been. And I'm like, when we're sitting at 10-0 going in a half, I did not feel good about the second half at all. Anyway, I can go through all that. But, it was occurring to me when I was watching the play calling, and it occurred to me last week, too. You know who would be perfect for this offense? Ian Book. This offense would be perfect for Ian Book. And it's like, but we got Sam Hartman. I wouldn't quite call it a square peg in a round hole, but it's like an octagon trying to fit in that hole. And it's like, so maybe you can get in there, but it's a little bumpy along the way. And that's kind of what it's feeling like right now.
Yeah,
man.
no,
You see where I'm going with that?
What I said is, I know you had wide receiver issues tonight and in general, but it does feel like the offense is regressing, and it's getting less and less creative and more predictable as we go along. And that is a bad.
Yeah, it looks like Matt Nagy at the beginning of a Chicago Bears regime, and then at the end of that, or as it went along, it just got more and more. Less and less creative all the time. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. There's problems, man, but I would much rather deal with them after the win. Okay. But there are issues. And this offense it's way too predictable. Like, everybody knew where we were going. It felt like a Kelly Reese thing where you go, I know what we're going to do here. I know what we're going to do here. Like, I don't know, man. It's rough. So I don't know, man.
16, or that was a big moment for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That was a big moment, man. That
had
changed everything. Like you said, John, that could be the jump start to this whole rest of the season. We'll see if that holds true. But I think next year they're going to play. I don't think it'll be easy, but I think they'll play better than they did tonight and win a little more comfortably. That's my prediction. But anyway, I'm going to let you go, John. But wow, Mitchell Evans, man. My goodness. What a jump that guy has made.
We needed that guy. And we needed a guy like that tonight to be that dude. And you got it. And the cherry on top is Brian Kelly lost. So that'll make me sleep good tonight. It just will. Just will. I'm petty.
It's just great. It's just great having
like
the
that.
inverse. It's just great having the inverse of what we all went through last week. This was like, we finally pulled. Oh, you know what, though? I got to say one last thing as I go out. Yeah, so we're all happy that, the sack, whatever. And then the poor guy gets hurt. And so you can't even get as excited as you want because you're feeling bad for just a little bit. It's like, you can't even let me enjoy the moment. You got to have a guy hold this thing.
Yeah, I know.
That's Notre Dame football, man. That's it's so Notre Dame, as you like to say. All right, John, Pat. Hey, have a great night, Pat.
Have a good one, man.
Care,
I just like it.
Riding.
A lot of these callers, Pat, call like each week usually. And you could just hear it in their voices, win or loss. And you just know where they're coming from the inflection. All right, here's the deal. It's 11:30. We got a half hour left. I got a bank of calls. I'm going to try and get through them. And we're just going to go quick. And I'm going to try and do a good job so everybody that wants to could get on. Try and keep it to your main couple points. 419, you're on the line. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? I wrote all my thoughts down in the notes app while I'm on hold, so I'm just going to run it off like we're in the hurry up offense.
Beautiful.
So the offense is trash.
That's a good start.
We all know that.
That's a good start.
Maybe he gets better and he figures it out. We'll see, but it's boring, predictable, slow. The only games we really looked good on offense was against the 2 cupcakes. Every other games we've had issues. We've got a all-time ACC quarterback looking lost right now. And we were 3rd and 15 on 3rd down. And our O-line made Duke look like the 85 Bears for a lot of that game. And I saw a tweet that was saying that Duke only had 2 4-stars on the entire roster. And to wrap it up, again, thank God for Mitchell Evans. And to address that caller earlier that was going to rewatch the game looking for tendencies, I'll save him the time because the biggest takeaway is Parker has a tendency to not score points. And in closing, I'm still pissed about Ohio State. Flush this game down the shitter, and I'll hang up so you can keep it moving.
There you go, man. I like those bullet points. Thank you, sir. Have a good night. And I do see his call-in number was from Ohio, so I kind of understand then specifically why he's having an extra hangover from last week. If that's the dynamic, let's keep it moving. We're doing good. 707. What's going down? 7.
Hey, John.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, man. You know what? I'm not going to let any pessimist crap on this win, man. I'm so proud of this team. And
do you think that do you think that Duke is better than people are giving them credit for, and Notre Dame was in a tough set of circumstances and you just got to take the win and then move on? Is that where you're coming from?
That's where I'm coming from. It was like the inverse of last week. You know what I'm saying? And for them to, look, give the game ball to our defense and to Sam Hartman. That's where and Mitchell Evans. This is where I am. I'll tell you this. At the game last week, I will admit I was an idiot when I left that stadium. I was so upset. I saw little kids crying, like, Dad, why did I thought we won,
Yeah.
And I'm just so upset. I'm outside of myself. And for them to have this situation happen where it could have easily went south.
Yep.
Sam Hartman handled his business at the end. It was like, you know what? That was a Heisman moment for me with him. Yeah. It was an ugly game. I understand that. But for him to take this team on his shoulders and pick up that fourth down, where last week we had a 3rd and 19 and let them pick it up. This week we had a 4th and 19 or whatever it was, and we pick it up and go down. Man, look, I will not let any pessimists mess up my mood. We won that game. It proves they're scrappy, and they stepped up and it made it. Despite all of the mistakes, we got to clean up these penalties. It's so crazy. The first 3 or 4 games, we were relatively clean, and here in the last few weeks, just the discipline. It's discipline. That's the problem. And Marcus Freeman has a saying: we can't let Notre Dame beat Notre Dame. And we did that last week, but we almost did it this week. But and I'm over here, man, I'm trying to tell you, John, I'm like, somebody please step up. And finally, on defense, we stepped up, and Sam Hartman stepped up on offense, made it happen. Boom.
Yep.
We got the win.
You needed it, man. I don't care if it's ugly. I know I'm frustrated. You needed it. I know it was frustrating, but we needed it. It wasn't pretty, but we needed the win, man. You just needed that W, and then we figured it out from there. You needed to scrape this one out to avoid an absolute nightmare scenario. You had to have it anyway. Exactly. I don't care if it's ugly, and it was damn ugly, but you got the minimum of what you needed, and I don't love it, but I can live with it because it's better than the alternative, because we all lived through that 1 week ago, and it felt way worse than this.
Right.
I want to be mad about us after a win. That's what I want.
Look. We definitely we were the better team last week. We let it get away. We were the better team this week. We almost let it get away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, they pulled it out, man. They pulled it out. But, man, this team is bad for your damn blood pressure. I mean, it's just everything's so stressful, man.
Right?
Everything's so
you know,
stressful.
that's the life of a Notre Dame fan, right? That's
it
the life
is.
of an Irish fan. Is
oh, man.
And that's, that's how it is. But, these callers are calling in, and, I agree with them. With most of what they're saying as far as Gerard Parker and the play calling and all this. But look, we on this journey together. And instead of, crapping on this team for their performance, with all the negative, let me tell you something. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen because I'm going to tell you this, John. You know what I did after Duke took the lead? I put everything down because I was a fool last week. Man, I kicked over a trash can last week right in front of the reflecting pool. I feel so stupid, like I have anything to do with the win. But anyways, this week I did the complete opposite, and I was like, I'm a channel my inner USA.
There you go, brother, man. Hey,
Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman. This is a Heisman moment for you right now. This is the USA.
Man.
Now let it go. And don't you know he picked it up and we won and we got the 2-point conversion and it happened. And look, we walked away, we back in South Bend, clean up all the bullets that we keep shooting in our feet.
Yeah.
Clean that mess up. We get that stuff squared away because what's happening is we're beating ourselves. We got to get out of that, and that will take us to the next level. And that was a first step, us pulling out this hard-fought, grimy, scrappy win.
Yep.
I'm so proud of this team.
Had to have it, gotta have it, had to have it, got it. And you got it.
Baby.
Hey, man, thank you.
Got it, baby.
I hope you sleep a lot better this week than you did last week, my friend. Thank you.
Hey, John, are you tailgating? When's the next tailgate? I need to know.
I don't know. It might not be till next year. We do one a year, and it's got to be a lower game just because that's easier to make it work. And so we probably missed it. We'll do. And then, dude, I don't like missing this show when I'm there. I can't do the show, and then that throws off my routine. But I'll let you know. We're going to do one next year, and we'll plan it way ahead so people can plan, okay?
Man, I was hoping it was going to be for the USC game because I was going to tell you I would be up there early when I would help you set up. But
thank you for that. Right. I appreciate it. I'll let you know when the next one is. But yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Hey, man, go Irish, baby.
There you go. Got that W. Nick Shepkowski in the house, managing editor, USA Today, Fighting Irish Wire. Read all about it, everybody. Read all about it. Erica says, John, we can't wait for the next tailgate. You know what I'm bringing. Yeah, Erica walks up, her little petite self, couple kids, kids with her, and she got a big old jug of Fireball every time, and she just puts it right on the table, and it's a beautiful thing.
That I make sure to avoid it at all costs.
Oh, Erica, you are my favorite. 623, you're talking to me. What's going down?
Hey, it's a great Saturday when Purple Face lost and we won our game.
Yep, there you go.
It's a great Saturday when it happens.
Yep, those are it, man. If you add in a Michigan loss, I'd be really happy. But beggars can't be choosers, okay? I'll take what we got.
Yeah, the offensive line, though, guys, it worries me extremely. It keeps me up at night. I'm just fooling around on that one, but their offensive line play is terrible. It's unfortunate that Harry Easton, whatever his reason was to leave it, but I can see definitely a physical play in offensive line is dropped. It's terrible when we have to run outside, and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. You guys know more than I do about it.
I mean, it's just, it looks predictable. And then whenever I'm like, why are you running the ball right into the line for no yards when they're all jammed up in there? It's like, well, we want to commit to the run. We want to commit to the run. And they're putting more guys up there or whatever. Well, then commit to the run, but do a different kind of run. Then like I don't, every time I get mad about that, it's like, well, John, they're stacking the box. What do you want him to do? Well, then people should be open to throw it to. Everything as an inverse. If you're up there on the line and sending extra guys for that, there should be things open on the backside in the inverse. I don't know, man. It just the offense looked.
Well, the one thing
it looked like an old Notre Dame offense, and I ain't here for that.
Yeah, the one thing that got me livid was it was in the first quarter when our center, he's offsides in a false start. How does that start with the center, guys? He's supposed to be the vocal point on the offensive line, correct? Well, he gets offsides, and then the play after that, he got lit up. I miss old Harry, brother. I don't know about you guys, but I miss old Harry.
Yeah, I'll say this though. Now, do you put anything into the fact that the Ohio State players were commending Notre Dame, saying it's the most physical line that they've faced? Or do you think they were just issuing those platitudes trying to be like nice after the game? Because they did say that Notre Dame offensive line's tough. So, I don't know. I'm just throwing that in the mix.
Well, I'll give it to you. I don't know, but Ohio State's defensive line isn't really what it has been in years past. Let's face it. So I'm throwing that out of there. I just didn't like what I've seen today. I'm not sold on them, and I think it's too late in the season to put a Billy Schreif in there. That freshman, I think, came from Wisconsin. It might be too late to put him in there now, but I'm not sold on the guards and the center. I'm just not. And you're gonna lose. I know we're looking until next year, but Alt's gonna probably leave more likely, and then the other they're going to lose both their tackles. So it's like I don't know.
I've thought of that too, and I'm not ready yet to think about all of that and what's going to happen with the line, and if you're going to lose, the tackles, and then you're going to have a new quarterback. Like I have enough problems with just the next 2 weeks, even in Notre Dame football, before I start worrying about all that. Anything else, my friend? I share your concerns.
No, man,
I do, man. I do, but at least we won. At least we won, right?
That purple face lost.
Yeah,
I loved it. Yep. I loved it.
I'll never get over it, and I'm always going to enjoy it. Hey, man, thanks for the call. Have a good night, okay?
Yeah, you sleep well, man.
Yeah,
later.
I'll sleep a lot better than I did last week. Dude, I understand people are all like, get over Kelly, like, quit talking about it. I am always going to enjoy watching him fail. I'm sorry, and it has nothing to do with the wins and losses at Notre Dame. It has to do with work ethic and how you treat people. I cannot be more clear about that.
I think people also forget that there was a thing between you and Kelly, and so it just gives you a little bit of extra edge when there was two personal situations between me and Kelly, and it was hilarious. And knowing that he doesn't like me makes me happy. That's all I'm saying. I just love knowing the guy doesn't like me. And me and him did have two personal issues and that did come up. Let's blow through the last rack of calls. Let's get through. 714. Give me some more. What's up?
That's all I'm saying. John.
What up?
John from Las Vegas.
Well, what's going on,
First-time
man?
caller.
Oh, thanks for joining the show.
Recap. Hey, just to recap, during the summer, all we did was talk about how good these players would be. But we failed to talk about the coaching staff. And I see that the coaching staff is going through some growing pains as well.
Yeah, I think you are seeing some of that. And you're seeing some of it with Freeman. He made a big jump from year one to year two. But maybe the other thing is, though, Parker's called offenses before. This is not his first time in charge of play calling. Like, he's done that before. So you can't act like it's his first year doing that or whatever. I just don't feel like they have all the pieces yet to run how they really want to run. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it was just icky. It was just icky tonight. It felt like boring Brian Kelly offenses. I just didn't like it.
We're like kindergartners with not only kindergartners, but with new teacher as well. And so we have to understand that these guys are going to have to learn along the way as well, I think.
Yeah. And you know what though, man, nobody has patience for it. Last year, Notre Dame fans already have very little patience after 30 years of not winning anything. Last year was the year of understanding where the fan base was like, okay, Freeman's a new coach. We want to give him a shot, all that stuff. And now that's over. And Notre Dame fans are like ready to be over a learning curve. Nobody wants to hear about that in year 2. And it might be true, but nobody wants to hear about it. I don't know.
Yeah. John, I'll leave you go because you got other callers, but I love your passion. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you very much, man. This is, I have a great time doing this, and I just like interacting with everybody and us all being together, whether it's good or bad. Everybody here, well, most of the people here love Notre Dame. We're all in this together, and we're going to ride it out, good or bad, my friend. Thanks for the call.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
John, the learning curve thing is so important to talk about because last year we definitely saw a coaching staff with coaching deficiencies. Yeah. This year we're seeing a coaching staff that is making improvements, but still isn't there. Last week we had a football team that couldn't close. This week we had a football team that did close. Am I saying we could have changed the outcome last week after that lesson? Not necessarily, but it's an improvement.
Yeah. And somebody put 1 year is not enough time. The staff's still figuring out, their own interpersonal relationships and all that stuff. And It's like,
well, I don't necessarily care about that. I care more about the decisions being made by the coaching staff. And I think the defense is starting to play better. I'm not down on Parker like everyone else seems to be. I'm not sold on Parker either. But of course everyone says it's Tommy's offense or it's Kelly's offense. I didn't necessarily hate Tommy's offense. So there's a lot to want, but I think it's improving.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just nobody has any patience anymore, and I don't either. I'm just saying. Joe Rudy, $10 holler. Parker doesn't know how to call play action. It is run, pass. Yeah, it did feel like it got real predictable. And generally speaking, I'm a little surprised Notre Dame has not run more play action. 949, you're up on the line. What's going down?
John, what's happening?
Hey, I'm just glad to be making my complaints after a win. That's all.
Yeah, me and you both. All right. So I got some notes here. I'm going to rant a little bit. You just interrupt me when you want.
Okay.
So, I've been living in Southern Cal my whole life. I've had to deal with SC fans, so none of my friends want to talk about this game. So first off, I was at the Ohio State game, miserable. Ohio State fans coming in here in this group chat, whatever. I know you guys are bored. You're bye week. Ohio's a boring state anyways, but go talk somewhere else. Leave us alone for this week. Let us enjoy this. What else I got here? Offense was good. I mean, I think offense did okay for what they had. You got receivers out. It's tough to play with 4 scholarship wide receivers. Give credit to Duke's defensive line. They played tough, but
yeah.
You got to be able to get some runs with those running backs and the offensive line we got. Sam Hartman laying it out on 4th down was awesome. He took that personal after the Ohio State game. He was getting that no matter what, man.
Yeah, and there was no way. There was a little redemption on that one for him. And again, I'm still going to say, I'm also very happy Audric was able to end the game the way he should have had a chance to 2 weeks in a row. Made me feel good to see him put the dagger in tonight.
Yep. And, that whole drive, I was just pacing that room, man. In my living room, I couldn't sit down. I was standing up the whole time, pacing around.
Yeah. Isn't that familiar? It's bizarre, man. It's almost, it's literally like to the minute of last week. And you're doing the same thing, pacing around the last drive. And you're just thinking, man, This is my life as a Notre Dame fan. Every damn week, you're going to have a heart attack. It just never ends for us. It never seems to end. It doesn't end.
Yeah. It just, oh, yeah. Anyways, yeah. God bless it.
I know. You just got to get home, exhale, let everything of the last 2 weeks that have blended into some big stress tornado for everybody involved here. Let all that cool down, get a little healthier, and everybody will be. I would be appalled if Notre Dame wasn't a lot more put together at Louisville than they were tonight. You knew with the circumstances, this one was going to be rough, and they had to find a way to scratch out a W, and they did, man. They did.
And you know what? And we have been talking, I've been watching your show a long time too, and I've agreed with you. We always knew, regardless of how the Ohio State game went, Duke was going to be a tough game.
Yep.
Elko's done a great job over there with the players he's got.
Yep. Mostly
3 stars, a couple 4 stars. So kudos to him and his staff for, having a great game plan and all that. So, and you know what? I want to say kudos to Howard Cross tonight. Dude played out of his freaking mind.
Yeah.
I think he had like 13 something tackles. The guy's an animal, man. He's relentless. He's that spark of life that defensive line needs. And then you got that targeting call on Jordan Botelho, which was BS. Just ACC refs doing whatever they can for Notre Dame to not get their 30th straight win against a crappy conference. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, I can hear the exhaustion and the frustration. I share it with you. I'm just glad it's after a win, and you really got to hope that things steady out over this week and you go into Louisville like with more distance between the Ohio State game. I think that'll help. But there's a lot to clean up. Notre Dame's not where they want to be right now. But you got the win and all your dreams are still alive for another week. So I guess that's a good week.
Yep. A win's a win. Just move on. And you know what? Good teams win, but great teams cover.
There you go.
Push.
There you go. Yeah.
Go Irish.
Go Irish.
Good win. It was a tough win. Let's move on. Beat Louisville and beat the crap out of SC, right? Thanks for taking my call,
I love
John.
it, man. I love that. Thank you very much. You got to represent us out there in California.
Hey, John.
Irish Blue Devil says, John, I thought you said you wanted California to break up and fall in the Pacific. Yeah, I do, but I want a big helicopter to get all the Notre Dame people out of there first.
There's a lot
I
of them
do
in
want
LA.
that to happen, but I want all the Notre Dame people out of there and leave the USC ones there. What's up, Pat?
Hey, at least we're not Florida. Did you see the play where they had 13 guys on the goal line stand and Kentucky still scored?
Dude, I love that, bro. If you're gonna have the wrong amount of guys, go over. Don't go under. Go over.
But the Kentucky still scored, and they had 13 guys on the field. That's awesome.
Oh, that's a good one. 617. What's going on tonight?
Hello.
Hello. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better than last week. How's that for a fair answer? There's the truth.
Yeah, it's like cardiac arrest. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah,
these are like symmetrical games. The home team actually played better. In the second half of each game, but both those teams lost. And these games will give you cardiac arrest.
Yeah, man, nothing's easy. Nothing's easy. I knew this was going to be a stressful one. Okay. I knew it was going to be stressful, but I thought eventually Notre Dame could wear them down up front and kind of take over late in the second half of the third quarter, that kind of thing. And that really didn't happen. And you got to give Duke and Mike Elko a ton of credit for that. So it didn't play out the way that I envisioned. I am relieved that the Flames were put out. You just had to win this no matter what it looked like to put the Flames out, and now you could get back to work. And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, John, Mike Elko's a terrific coach, and he's taken 3 stars and made him 4, some 4 stars made him 5s. He's an excellent defensive coordinator. He's a terrific strategist, and he's a much more experienced strategist than Parker is. So he outcoached him. That's why he made it a close game, for all intents and purposes. Not to mention the fact that for all intents and purposes, Duke has become Clemson. Clemson's become Duke. I think that's a fair assessment. So you got Clemson right after the Ohio State game, again, for all intents and purposes. It's kind of played out that way. You wouldn't have thought that 6 months ago or 9 months ago or 12 months ago. But
man, you know what?
I think that,
hey, you know what, though?
Right?
It's actually, here's the problem. The problem is, it doesn't matter how legitimately good Duke is. They're never going to get full football credit because in people's brains, they have Duke always being bad basketball school. And I think that's always that's always going to hurt.
I'm giving them credit.
Yeah, but I mean,
if you saw them play against Clemson, and that guy Elko is a terrific football coach.
Yeah, I think
if you saw
Michigan
that team
State
play
should
against
call
Clemson,
him. Michigan State should call him, for that job.
Oh, yeah. You don't think they aren't?
No, a lot of schools.
You don't think they aren't?
Yeah.
Oh, he's on the top of the list.
But dude, I think you're right though. Duke is going to be really, really tough, but it's still early in the year, and a lot of people don't want to credit them for being probably as good as they actually are. And that hurts Notre Dame perceptually tonight. But the big thing is the local Notre Dame people, us, the fans, the media, people like me, we are going to critically look at this game in a way nationally. I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to go tough road win for Notre Dame after a rough week. I think Notre Dame's actually going to get more credit out of this nationally than from us locally. That's my opinion.
Yeah, probably so. And like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, this guy Parker's new, and he got brutally outcoached by Elko. All those stunts Elko was running was when you're successful at something or you're bad at something, you reveal yourself one way or the other, whether you're a corporate lawyer who work on Wall Street or whether or not you play Notre Dame football.
Yeah.
You reveal yourself in success. You reveal yourself, And the reason that the reason that Saban has rings that nobody else can carry around is he's a great tactician. He knows how to point counterpoint. Yeah. And you've got to be ready for that. So if you're really good at something, a guy like Saban sits back and says, I'm really good at this. What is this guy really good at? He's going to do this to me this week. Oh, I've got this in my bag of tricks to counter that. Why do you think he's won those big games against Georgia and adjusted at halftime? Just as an example. Because, he's a maestro. And, it's all a learning process. And Freeman's not at that point yet. And he has a rookie offensive coordinator. If Saban was the head coach of that team, they would have won this game by 14 to 21 points because he would have known exactly what Elko is going to do against him and his successes. Freeman's got to sit back and start saying that and saying, what did we do really well? And what did Ohio State and Knowles and Elko and Duke do against me? I've got to counter that because it's going to come down the line. SC's defense isn't as talented as Ohio State's or Duke's, but you're going to give them fodder by displaying what you're doing well and what you're not doing well, and have other teams exposing you. You've got to be able to make adjustments to that. If you don't, eventually it's going to really trip you up.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what else too? What I noticed, and you noticed this last week as well. All of those little decisions and all those little moments and the coaching inexperience and the decision making and the right or wrong of all that. If you mess it up, you see it in the biggest games where your margin of error is very razor thin and you can't make a lot of mistakes. Yeah. That's where that shows. And it showed last week.
Kind of a big game.
Yeah, and it showed last week.
You can't do it.
Yeah, you can't. So I don't know, man. I'm glad we got the win, but it is frustrating. And there's Notre Dame's they're not where anybody wants them to be, but they're holding on. Tough circumstances. You got the win. Anything else on the way out, man? Thank you for the call.
Yeah, hey John, I need you to help me with something.
Yeah.
Who do I hate more, Michigan and their fans, or Ohio State and their fans?
Oh man,
what can I do to What can I do to relieve that angst?
I'm telling you. You know what you could do? You can hope for an asteroid at the building where all of them are combined, and then you eliminate all your problems. That's the way to do it. I have a lifelong vendetta against the Michigan people, but I swear the Ohio State people are trying to catch up in that race the last week. It has been brutal for me. It has been brutal for me. But when you do what I do, you got to expect it and take it. But they have been brutal.
Yeah. Joel Klatt, I love, but he's like, oh, Michigan's like a boa constrictor, and then we get a hold of you. They won't get low. They won't let go, and they'll beat you. I'm like, Joel, who have they played? At least, hey, Ohio State played Notre Dame. Notre Dame's played North Carolina State, Ohio State, and Duke, which is a very good team. Michigan hasn't played anybody.
Yep.
Neither has USC.
Yep.
You know, so why are you sitting there ranking these teams number 2 in the country? And what Urban Meyer says, who, you know, I'm not a big fan of his, but he said those teams, Georgia, they should be penalized. They should be ranked way back until they prove themselves. And so you'll see once Notre Dame gets through this 3-4 game gauntlet that they have, and if they get through it with a 3-1 record, they can reset themselves. And then in a month and a half from now, you'll be like, I remember talking to that guy, and now they're really good because they revealed themselves, they made their adjustments, and they moved forward. Now they're ready to be elite.
Yeah,
So
Michigan does not play a real team till second week in November. Penn State. That is an absolute total embarrassment joke. Hey man, thanks for the call. Yeah, it is a joke. Anything on the way out? Thanks for jumping in.
No. Yeah. First time calling. I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks, John.
Perfect, man.
Miami,
hey, save the number. Call me again, man. Happy to have you on board. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Good talking to you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, man. I like having new callers. That's what this is all about. 815, that's my area code. What's going on?
Hey, my name is Jake Reynolds. I'm a first-time caller. I love the channel, guys. I love the energy. I love the fact that you're letting people call in. I think that's awesome.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know what I love? Your crystal clear phone line, baby. That is the cleanest one of the night. Like when you do this, you start noticing that shit. You got the clearest phone line I've heard, baby. I love it. Thank you.
Hey,
thank you.
Hey, I got a few points. I'm going to go through them kind of quick, and if you feel like you want to jump in, you just tell me.
All righty.
I won't take offense.
Let him rip.
So, number one, I do think that Duke is coming in a little underrated. You know, they did dominate Clemson, and it's like, you know, I think we got to give them more credit than what some callers are giving them. Second thing here is, you know, a win's a win. And listen, when you beat a team by 40, you say, look how good our offense was. You know, but when you squeak by and you hold a team to how many points we did tonight, that's a defensive domination. Our defense dominated. And yet it still feels like we're super upset. I mean, I guess that's just because the point is to score points, you know, but still, I love how the defense played tonight. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah, man. It's just you can't, these things bleed into each other. 1 week leads into the next, and you could just feel all of the badness of last week spilling into this week. The staff was answering questions about the 10 on Wednesday of the next game week. That never happens for Notre Dame, where you get into the Wednesday pressers and they're answering questions about the previous game instead of the upcoming one. Like, this was just going to be a very heavy, tough week to get through. And all they needed to do is find a way to win, damn it. Like, I have a million complaints, and we'll break them down throughout the next week. Especially offensively, but damn it, at least they won.
Because we should be better.
At least they won, man. You kept the boat afloat.
And to put it this way, if we want to be who we're supposed to be, if we want to be championship Notre Dame, we should be so much better offensively in this game than we were.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But so I coach running backs in my high school, and we're small division Wisconsin high school. But, you know, what happens a lot with my running backs is when your interior O-line shuts down fast, you panic and you go left or right. And then you lose your leverage, you lose your pad level. And to me, that's what it looked like tonight. It looked like a lot of, I lost my hole immediately, a little bit of panic, and then everything just got gummed up because the O-line obviously wasn't working, and we probably needed it more tonight than we've ever needed it, you know, and it just absolutely was not there.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it was just, everything just seemed like a struggle. And it was just one of those nights the thing is, man, there's been so many of these that we've had before, and you do lose them. I'm just glad we're on this end of it, man. And this is the type of thing that if you get into November, you're barely even going to remember this one. You'll be like, yeah, it was a big game, but you move on and you win it. You just had to win it. Cross it off, move on. And you did that.
Yes, exactly. And it's such a big deal that they did win it. And that makes me think of Hartman, man. For him to make that play I just think of when he was on his feet, just went for it, and you could tell he was like, I should throw this. It's not good for me to run it. And he just went for it. He just said, fuck it, I'm going.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. We haven't had a quarterback that has made that decision in a long time.
Yeah.
Just said, I'm going. I'm just going.
Yeah.
And for Audric, when your stars win your game, that matters. When your big time players win the game, that's a big deal.
Yep.
It means a lot.
Yep.
To a team,
It was, I was glad to see him get that one. Hey man, thank you very much for the phone call. Appreciate it. 815.
Yeah, of course.
Have a good one, buddy.
Hey, thank you guys. I'm loving it. Hey, have a good night.
Beautiful. Take care. Ooh, what do we got? What is this? 540. What do you know?
Hey, John, this is John Paul. You might not remember me. I was a part of your show from the beginning. I'm a seminarian for the Catholic Church.
Dude, I do remember you. I remember you going way back. I remember this. It was like, that's like 5 or 6 years ago, man. I remember this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man, it's good to talk to you.
How are you doing? How are you
so.
doing, man? How are you doing? Are you still doing the religious path? What are you doing?
Seminary. I'm getting pretty close to ordination now. So
wow,
to become a priest. It's exciting, man.
I'm gonna tell you what. You might need to be the priest of this show. We're gonna need you. Can I have you on retainer? I'm gonna need you. I'm telling you. God bless you. God bless you. I'm going to need you.
God,
I'm going to need to hire you on retainer to be the priest and bless this show. I'm serious.
I'm so down. Here's the thing. Like in the seminary, it's brutal. Like the Ohio State game. Oh, you have 150 guys and you lose.
Are you guys
moment.
Are you guys allowed to curse? Like, I know you're doing those, but come on, are you allowed to let one fly once in a while? Come on.
You try not to.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like I have so much respect for you because after the Ohio State game, I went to my room and just sat in the dark for like an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. You and everybody else.
Wait, isn't that normal though?
Somebody just wrote in the chat, John needs an exorcism. Yeah, it's my personality. We got to get it out of me. Yeah, that's what I need for sure. But dude, that was that kind of night where I did the same thing. I couldn't sleep and I just stared at I was seeing stars, man. Have you ever been so furious? You just like in your eyes, it's just like blinking. I was literally seeing stars like a cartoon, man. So I don't know, but I mean, I think we need to. I need you to stay close to the show. We need some blessings around here, man.
Hey, I got you in my rosary all the time. So.
Oh man, that means a lot. Thank you very much, my friend. That means a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, just one comment, really. This is going to be my more sour side of me. Sorry, I apologize. But basically, just want to say, O-line U, not awful.
Yeah, they got to be better. Yeah,
especially with how they played against Ohio State. They played really well. And then to come out tonight, I was like, I don't know what that was. And one last thing, what up, tight end U? I'm over that. I'm done being tight end U. I want to be a receiver U.
Like, yeah. Like, well, you know what, man? Hey, you know what? You don't have to give up being tight end U. You could get some receivers and still have really good tight end play. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You could do both.
All right, I'm down. I'm down. Let's make it happen. Like, yeah. So that's my thoughts. But.
Hey, man, listen, I really appreciate you reconnecting. I remember like it was literally 5 years ago probably. And then I remember you saying, John, I'm about to go off and do this, and I'm not going to be able to tune in as much and interact as much because I need to put my energy into that. And it's a very, very special calling, and I respect you for that, man. It's a very special thing you're called to do.
Thanks. Appreciate it, John. No, my prayers. Peace.
Have a good one, man. Thank you very much. That was awesome. I'm glad I got to reconnect with him. That is beautiful. Oh, man. You know what? We're past midnight. That's going to be it. for the callers, and I'm going to end with the priest. I think that's a good place to end. And I did have a full nother bank. You guys, it's a good problem for me to have. This show's picking up steam. There are a lot of people calling in now. A lot of them are first-time callers too, and I like trying to get them in. Please do understand the first-time callers. I could tell if somebody's never called in. I like bringing those people in to give them a chance and get into the rotation. So I do, if I notice somebody that hasn't called, I want to try and give them a shot to get in. Here's the deal, man. Rough 2 weeks for Notre Dame and Notre Dame fans and the players and the coaches and everybody. Everything isn't perfect. Notre Dame is not functioning on all cylinders, on high and all overdrive. That ain't happening. You needed to get this win to keep everything afloat, and we did it. Okay. And so, Pat, what do you think on the way out?
I think that this was a great win for Notre Dame. We said on Friday, whatever it takes, just get out of there with the W. They did that. I also think Notre Dame might have hurt themselves because they hurt that quarterback. I don't think that kid's going to play anymore. That was pretty nasty, and that might hurt Duke.
Yeah, I thought of that too, Pat. But you know what, dude? Like, there's not a damn thing you could do about that.
No, you can do about it.
And it just sucks that it's at the end like that. That is very, very rough.
Yeah.
And they showed the mom 80 times. They didn't show her after that one. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
and they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
That was pretty awful.
And I couldn't imagine if you're the mom and you got to see your kid's ankle and all that's rough.
Yeah.
But listen, it's been a rough week. And the only thing that Notre Dame can do to make any of it even a little better is win this game, no matter what it looked like. Even though all of our hair fell out and everything, we got it done and we escaped. But there is a lot to clean up before Louisville. And there is a truckload to clean up before USC. So we got to worry about one thing at a time. Pat, I really appreciate you being here, helping me look at the chats and keep things going. Everybody, this is growing. We never had this kind of numbers last year after any game, even the big ones. This is growing. We're building momentum. The family's expanding. New people are getting in. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I love this group. Even some of the trolls, I don't mind all that much. Some of you I do, some of you I don't. But the people that are buying into what we got going on here, it's growing, and that is a beautiful thing. We want to be here for you guys. Everybody, have one more drink, have yourself one more smoke, one more gummy, whatever you need to do tonight, and then have a good night's sleep. Notre Dame won. We will worry about everything to clean up tomorrow when we wake up. Notre Dame won. That's the most important thing. Everybody have a good night. Love you guys for being here. Thank you, all the chatters, all the donators, all of you guys. There is no show without you.